Hey there, literary citizens! So unfortunately, you won't be seeing me today since there's construction happening on my apartment right now, and while I've become surprisingly comfortable sitting alone in my office and talking to a camera, I start to feel a little weird when there are guys in hard hats outside my window watching me. Plus, they're making lots of noise, and hiding in my relatively soundproof closet is a great excuse to stay in my pajamas all day. So I'm going to share some of my favorite writing music with you. Obviously, what you're listening to will depend on your own personal taste, as well as the personality of your characters and the tone of your story, but here are a few artists and albums that have helped me out. Sometimes, one particular music genre will jump out at me in the planning stages of a story, and I'll know right away what the soundtrack to my novel will be. But if I'm ever at a loss about where to start looking for music, I'll find a movie with a similar vibe to my novel, then try writing to its soundtrack. For example, since my nano is a contemporary young adult, I've been listening to the soundtracks for a lot of teen movies, like The Princess Diaries, Easy A, and 10 Things I Hate About You. Last year, my novel was about two people whose lives touch and then diverge, which is basically the plot of the movie Once, so I wrote to that soundtrack as well as every other album by the Swell Season and The Frames.
I don't know you, but I want you all the more for that.
Instrumental scores from movies and TV shows are also great. I write a lot of action sequences to my Doctor Who collection, and any blockbuster movie is likely to contain music for an epic fight or chase scene. There's one soundtrack in particular that I really like for writing beautiful descriptions. It's from a French Disney documentary about flamingos, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the title since I didn't retain anything I learned from my one semester of French. This score is particularly great for fantasy novels or any scene where someone is discovering a magical new world. For romantic scenes, if I'm not going for straight up cheesy love songs, I tend towards sad but hopeful piano music. I especially like an album called Daylight Breath by Andrei Vinogradov, and another by Gonzalez called Solo Piano. And when all else fails and I can't find anything appropriate for the mood of my scene or story, I write to Irish folk music. Why? I'm not entirely sure. For some reason, it helps me tune out from the real world, but it's not so distracting that I end up singing along instead of writing. I think everyone has a genre like this. For you, it might be classical or jazz or surf rock. Just figure out what your default writing music is, and you'll be good to go. So what's your favorite music to write to? Tell us about the songs, albums, or artists that get your creativity flowing, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. The next installment of Late Night Lit will be up on Saturday, continuing Candace and Sarah's discussion of the gastronomical me, and I will be back on Wednesday, hopefully with an actual face. Stay literary! Hey, princess. Are you sitting at my laptop? Are you gonna help me write? Or are you just grumpy? Are you grumpy with all the noise? Yeah, I'm pretty grumpy too. We're all grumpy.